The Neo you get today will only get better. And as we keep shipping features, it'll be more and more useful in your everyday life. Now, the journey there is not going to be perfect. And
boom, and we're back with another video with your favorite startup advisor, me, Riley. And let's have a look at this news today that was shaking the internet. As you can see here on the screen, we have this company that just announced a humanoid robot called Neo. And in this video, we're going to have a look at what we can learn from this announcement, what is exactly is behind this announcement, this robot. Is it a threat to Tesla's Optimus Prime? And because this is a business channel, a startup channel, we'll have a look at what is it that you can learn as a founder or as a startup, and that you can replicate for your business, because there are a couple of really interesting things. So let's get into this. Okay, so it was about 2 days ago that the company, is it 1X Tech, that just announced the Neo home robot. And what was very impressive about this was that they were taking pre-orders, that day. So it started 2 days ago. Very interesting, because for those who had a look or listen to Tesla's Q3 revenue conversation, they were mentioning that the Optimus Prime was not ready for pre-orders, and I think it's somehow a kick to Tesla and to the robotics industry, because it feels like Neo came out of nowhere. And let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong and if they were talking about this a lot. But very interesting. So let's have a look at what this robot is capable of doing. But the first thing, and I want to zoom into this picture and just to highlight something quite interesting with the robot. So they gave the robot obviously a humanoid structure and shape, but they also gave it like a little bit of a Japanese anime manga cuteness. And this is strategic. Like, if you want a technology to be adopted, you have to make it look cute, or at least remove all fear aspect of it. It's a bit that Terminator kind of thing. If you come up with a robot that scares people, or a technology in general that scares people, you'll have less chances of it getting adopted. And so the fact that they gave it like this little bit of Walt Disney cute look to this robot is definitely by design, because they want to ease the adoption of the robot. And when you look at the robot, they want you to think, okay, this robot is not dangerous. It's actually the opposite. This robot is your friend. And so this robot was designed to be a home robot, so help you with the chores, do all sorts of domestic stuff. And the idea is really to be that kind of machine in the house that does a lot of things. And this is a major breakthrough, because this is one of the key recipes. And again, this is very important for founders. This is one of the key recipes as a business or as a startup. A lot of the business that are extremely successful is when they are democratizing a product or a service that was commonly used by the wealthy or the rich. Example, if you have a look at Uber democratized private chauffeur. So it was something that was initially kept by the rich, right, or the wealthy. They had access to private chauffeurs, right? Second thing, if you look at Airbnb, for example, they democratized access to second residence, or like a vacation house, which was something that the wealthy and the rich had access to. And so with Neo and this home robot, what they're trying to do is democratize access to home staff. So where before the rich had to employ people to help them manage the house, now they want to bring this to everybody. And so it's essentially taking something that the rich and the wealthy have in making it accessible to everyone. And as you can see, there's a huge market for that. I don't have the numbers of how many homes are exactly in the US and Europe and Western countries in general, but we're talking about at least 100 millions of homes. And so that's potentially a huge market. And people will also be able to buy multiple robots in in the homes. So that's definitely a huge market you want to tap into, and this is exactly why Tesla is also very interested in that, and Tesla and a lot of companies. But what's very interesting about NIO here is that they're already pushing a first version of the product, and you'll see that product is not perfect. And this is where I wanted to go with this presentation, because something I see a lot with startup founders is that they really want to build a perfect, finished, polished product before shipping it. But if you have a look here today with this robot, it's not available, and the delivery is planned for 2026, which can be end of 2026. So this robot may not be shipped until an entire year, but they put it out there and they started marketing with it. A couple of reasons why they're doing this is because they have competition with the Optimus Prime and other robots, but also because they may be looking for cash to continue the development of the robot, because what you see here is what I like to call an MLP, a minimum lovable product. And there's still a lot of things that needs to be added to the robot to make it fully functional and reach that value proposition that they were mentioning. Because if you have a look at some of the interview footage, they say that the robot is not able to do all the tasks yet, and this is something that they're working on, but they want to test the demand. And that is a very important concept. They want to test the demand. And at the same time, this technology is being built. So what I mean by that is the capacity for the robot to understand and analyze the world where he's living in and adapt to all kinds of situation. Because if you ship a robot to a house, not all houses look the same. And if all houses look the same, people would not arrange them the same way. Like not everyone puts their pan in the same drawer. Not everyone puts their clothes in the same order, etc. And so robots will have to learn from every single house to be able to really master and be super efficient. And the problem is that this requires training. And in order to do that kind of training, you can either push robots in all sorts of different kind of environments and make them learn, or you can do exactly what Tesla did with the cars, which is start selling the cars with a minimum lovable product and leverage the fact that people are driving those cars so that the computer in the car can, and in the AI, can learn from its environment. And this is what I believe NIO is doing. They want to ship as many robots as possible, even if they're not at full capacity in terms of features, but so that by having all these robots in all these very different kinds of homes, they will start learning, and this will start feeding eventually an AI that is going to learn from all kinds and all sorts of environment. And so I think it's a very powerful lesson for founders that you can build something as expensive as a 20K robot and push a $200 deposit, fully refundable, and delivering your product 6 months to a year after that. And so I think it's a very powerful and inspiring move from this company, that founders, and especially bootstrap founders that are building products and services that need a little bit of cash, can learn and copy from. That being said, I want to drop a couple of warnings. You also have to be super careful with what you're building, because at the end of the day, you're not here to scam people. You're not building any sorts of vaporware. And so don't overpromise and under-deliver. What you want to do is really make sure you can deliver on your promise. Otherwise, you'll end up in a very tricky, not to say dangerous position, and you can face some serious issues by doing this. Final words to my founders and startup builders and business builders out there: you don't have to build the full product in order to start making money. You can actually test demand. And one of a great way of testing demand is to actually put your idea out there and take some pre-orders and see if people are willing to put their hard-earned money into a deposit, and see if they react to that. That's one of the best ways of doing that. And the other benefit of this is that this company benefited from a huge marketing opportunity with all the articles and videos like the one I'm making right now, that gave them a lot of visibility and attention. And that is also a great way to test and build demand. Life is too short to build something nobody wants, so test demand. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments down below if you want more of these kind of videos where we tap into the news and the startup news. That was Riley, your favorite startup advisor and investor, and see you on the next one. But until then, boom.